Prisoner versus guard. In the shoe, there was nothing to lose, almost. And if a person was serving a life sentence or something similar, then there was really nothing to lose. Some guys would throw their shit on the guards or spit on them. Some would refuse to cuff up and then threaten to stab any guard who crossed the threshold of the cell. Sometimes prisoners light small fires to set off the sprinkler system, anything to disrupt an obnoxious guard shift. This is a guard didn't have to commit a crime to make a prisoner's life miserable in the hole. There were a million ways they would fuck with your head. A typical exchange goes like this. An inmate knocks on his cell door to get the attention of the guard. Even though it's the guard's duty to bring prisoners a phone at our allotted time, or toilet paper, soap, toothpaste, etc., sometimes they don't. Instead, remaining at the end of the tier, playing cards and snickering or ignoring us, or sometimes yelling out, "You're on your own, get it yourself." They ignore a prisoner's knock for 10 to 15 minutes. Then the prisoner, of course, gets riled, furious really. Then he starts pounding and kicking his door. Then the guards yell, telling him to quit pounding on the door. Then the prisoner yells back that he wouldn't be pounding if he'd gotten some sort of answer when he knocked for the first 10 minutes. Then the guards snidely remark that he won't get anything at all now since he's banging on the door. He calls them cowards. The guards call him a crybaby. They make childish sniveling noises. He calls them motherfucking bitches and dares them to step into a cell like men. This is how the tension on a tier can escalate in 1 minute into tremendous pressure. Some guards will tie a small noose outside a troublemaker's cell to indicate that they could rush inside and hang him and make it look like he'd hung himself. Sometimes guards will search a prisoner's cell when he's in the shower and lead letters out of their envelopes, family pictures on the floor marred by fresh boot marks or the mattress shoved against the wall. The worst is the way some guards mess with the prisoner's sleep by shining flashlights in his eyes during the late night count. They tamper with sleep because, as I once explained to a young inmate, we aren't really doing time when we're snoozing, since we'd be asleep on the streets too. Some guards can't stand the idea of giving the wicked any rest. Prisoner versus his own imagination. Nietzsche wrote, "In solitude, what one has brought into it grows, also the inner beast." He knew that solitude could dement and wither a man, drive the psyche mad. No matter how tough you think you are, time in the hole is designed to make you go through some serious changes. That's because after being with your body in a tight space, month after month, inevitably you succumb to aberrant thoughts. The pressure of a long-term solitary confinement made one prisoner rub his own shit all over his body. The mind plays tricks. Then there was Manetti, who one night, while playing with himself, got a capless shampoo bottle stuck up his ass because the suction from the stomach was sucking the bottle into his colon. They had to surgically remove it. He almost died in the hospital. After many months in solitary, another ugly tattooed convict I know walked to the showers with his grimy briefs rolled up above his ass cheeks, a grotesque attempt to make them resemble thong panties. He smeared colored pencil on his lips and cheeks to give them a cute blush, and his t-shirt was knotted in front like a girl's bikini top. Okay. We're still on prisoner versus his own imagination. This is the event that changed my life. One night I felt compelled to open my eyes after a troubled night of sleep. A young white boy was standing in the corner of my cell. He was wearing a little boy striped t-shirt like Opie or Mayberry RFD, except this boy was completely bald. Somehow I knew that he was 7. His expression was blank. No pain, no anger, no guile, no judgment. He gave me nothing except his presence. He looked so innocent, and he was so pale. He wasn't moving towards me or fidgeting like a little kid. No, he was actually a bit stiff like a standing corpse. His presence was disturbing. He was there long enough for me to begin to wonder why the hell he was there at all. Was it bring your kid to work day? Maybe he was the son of a guard and he'd wandered away from his father. But I couldn't comprehend how he'd gotten into my cell and what was up with his shiny bald head. I closed my eyes again. When I opened them later, he was gone. As I lay on my bunk staring at the ceiling, I thought about the boy. As much as I believed that I was sitting on that bunk, I believed that that boy had actually been there, standing in that corner. I was chilled by how his presence had felt so vivid. It couldn't have happened, I know that, but he felt so fucking real. If I thought enough about it, I believed I could even convince myself that I'd smelled his milky breath. I lay in bed fully believing that a supernatural presence had haunted me. This meant that the rational part of me, the part not usually given to belief in ghosts, now believed in them. I was starting to break. I was losing it. I began to get deeply worried. I'd been seeing faces, hearing voices, having nightmares, and now this boy. It all added up. If my mind wasn't already broken, then it was breaking fast. My whole delusion of control was shattering. I was scared shitless and worried that the next time the boy appeared, he might talk to me, and I knew I'd have to answer him. I lay in bed all day, scared that I was finally unable to tell the difference between reality and fantasy. In that hour of dire need, I wasn't visited by God or his burning bush. Jesus didn't call to me like St. Paul claimed he did to him on that road to Damascus. No horns or trumpets blew. No angels and bright lights came to give me heavenly messages. I merely saw a very pale little boy. Thank you.